Yo, what's up, man? I want to say I'm proud of you. You've come a long way since that shared house in northwest London, selling Nissan, going on Groupon holidays. So I know you're not where you want to be just yet, but every time you get stuck or want to give up, just ask yourself.
Do you dream of traveling the world, working for yourself, and living a life of complete freedom? Today I am in Asok in Bangkok, a place I called home for over a year and where my journey here in Thailand began. And in this video, I'm going to share how you can build a life you truly love through content creation, online business, and world travel. And you'll leave with an exact breakdown that you can use starting today to achieve your personal dreams. Now, in order for this to make any sense, I need to take you back in time. It was exactly 9 years ago. I'd got a loan from Nationwide and booked a once-in-a-lifetime trip to Thailand. I'd watched The Beach with Leonardo DiCaprio like 20 times, and I knew that when I got to Maya Bay, then I'd be happy. So I got on that flight to Thailand, I got on the boat trip, and I went to Maya Bay. But when I got there, I was miserable. On that trip to Thailand, I gained over 25 pounds in weight in 17 days. For pretty much most of the trip, I ended up locking myself in a room, watching Breaking Bad on an iPad, and just stuffing my face with crappy, sugary foods. I attempted to eat away my problems and just dull my senses with sugary sensations. I'd officially hit rock bottom. And this was when I realized you'll never ever appreciate where you are until you appreciate who you are. When I got back to London, I decided things had to change. My life had to change. I had to change. But little did I know, I was about to discover something that would change everything. I read about this thing called meditation, so I decided to give it a try. And I sucked, like I sucked at most things. But I kept going. And as I sat there, I began to notice thoughts arise. You're never gonna make it. What if you go homeless? You aren't creative. You can't use computers. And then it was like a light bulb went off. I realized those thoughts aren't me. It was like I'd woken up from a dream and I'd touched a part of myself that I never knew existed. So now, a little bit more awake, it was time to get busy. I went to the same Costa Coffee every single day. I bought online courses like Sam Ovens Consulting Accelerator, and I invested in working with mentors. I launched a Shopify store, and then another, and then another. Then I started a digital marketing agency. And over time, I eventually managed to save enough money to pay off my debt and even put a bit of money in the bank. Then one day, I read The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. I realized I'd tried so hard to make money that I hadn't actually gone anywhere. So after going from a broke, in debt, depressed, angry, and insecure steroid abuser to working for myself, deepening my spiritual practice, and actually becoming somebody I was proud to be, I decided I had enough. And so I booked a flight to Bangkok. Just a really quick interruption. The process of going from 25k in debt to paying off my debts and having some money in the bank, it took like years and years of hard work. It wasn't just some quick, motivational, rocky entrepreneurship montage. I actually paid off my 25k debt with a 6k settlement, which got me banned from Nationwide for life and left me with a 248 credit score. And most of the online Shopify stores and agencies I started barely made between a couple $100s and a couple $1,000s. But over time, I did get better. And throughout that whole time, I focused on one thing in particular, and that was just becoming a more valuable, more useful person. I learned more skills and continued to execute again and again and again. And over the time frame of years and not minutes, I actually got to the point where I could rent my own place and put some money in the bank, actually book a one-way trip. to Thailand. On September the 7th of 2022, I landed in Bangkok. And it was wild. The lights, the nightlife, the traffic, the tuk-tuks. It was incredible. It was almost like in the whole world, there was this one little bit of chaos called Asok in Bangkok. And that was now my new home. And after spending the last 3 years traveling all across Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines, Laos, Dubai, and launching my own dream online business, let me share exactly how you can do it too. And this isn't stuff that I've asked ChatGPT. These are either things that I have personally done myself that have worked for me, or I'm doing right now to unlock the next stage of my life. Step 1 is content. Video is the language of the internet. And that's exactly why I'm doubling down on video creation right now. Like, right now. But content is the perfect expression of the manifest realm. We can be the vehicle through which the unmanifest can become manifest. We have the ability to take nothingness, just the seed of an idea, and through our act of creation, turn it into something that other people can consume and enjoy. Here are 3 goals that I recommend to set for yourself when starting to make content, and I try and achieve these in order. So goal 1 is an output goal. We can't control what happens to us, we can only control what we do. So the first one is just to put out 1 video a week. We can control that. Goal 2 is a quality goal, and this is just to try and become one person's favorite YouTuber. I'm still working on that one. And goal number 3 is a monetary goal, and this is to make your first $1,000 through your content. The moment you realize that content can lead to revenue, you'll feel far more motivated to keep making content. But how should you go about starting to make content? Look, people really overcomplicate this. The easiest frame of reference I've found is this. Just make the content that you wish existed. For me, I love Kees-One style travel vlogs, I love Andrew Paul style visual storytelling, and I love Callaway style educational videos. So I'm in the current process of trying to merge those 3 into my one-of-one channel. And there will be some people out there that love travel vlogs, some people out there that love like visual cinematic storytelling, and some people that love educational YouTube videos. And if you're that person, I'm making this for you. And we share the exact same taste. You don't need to be confident on camera or artistic or even know how to edit a video to get started. You just need to use Parkinson's law to your advantage. Parkinson's law dictates that a task swells in proportion to the time allocated to it. So what do? Set 1 hour aside to script and plan your video. Set 1 hour aside to actually record the video, and then set a few hours aside to sit down and edit the video, or hire and send it to an editor for $20 to $25. And then set yourself a deadline of 7 days. That's a goal that is not so soon, it's intimidating, but not so far away, you can keep putting it off to tomorrow. Now, making content is great, but if you don't do step 2, you might not ever actually make any money. Now, step 2 is to align your content to your own online business or direct monetization route. Everyone online is saying launch an AI startup or launch a school community or launch some other agency, right? But here's the real secret. Just pick one thing and work on it every day for 2 years. So here's how I'm doing that in my own life. About 2 months ago, we launched the Creator's Edge. Now we're running about 1.5K to 2.5K MRR at the moment, and we did just under 6K profit in the first month. But that was 6 months in the making, and we've given ourselves another 18 months to really give this a good shot, you know? Also, in case you are interested in this kind of thing, I'm going to be documenting every step of the way of growing this online business. So what works, what doesn't, so you can take it. So if you're interested in becoming a creator, launching an online business so you can travel the world, please think about subbing just so you don't miss out. Now, some people will think like online business or making money online is some yucky term. Well, fuck them, compassionately. Business allows us to, in some way, create the change that we want to see in the world, and it survives and propagates through profit. If you see a painful problem, solve it, and then charge money for it. you can make the world a better place while still making money. Examples of making money online could be online therapy, it could be coaching or consulting, it could be online communities, it could be selling digital products, it could be agency work of some form or another. And within each one of those different examples, there's thousands and thousands of different angles and approaches that you can take. The issue isn't that there isn't enough opportunities to choose from. The issue is that there's too many, and it just leads to this feeling of analysis paralysis. Now, if you haven't already, I strongly recommend doing the Ikigai exercise. Ikigai is the intersection between what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. And in the middle of those intersections could be your Ikigai. Then what you want to do is you want to package this Ikigai into an I help statement. So I help, niche, solve problem to get result. And this just helps refine your overall value proposition. Now, lastly, ensure that you're able to charge $1,000 for that I help statement. Now, of course, there is a continuum here. If you've got a $9 a month app, of course, that is a little bit different, but you need a lot of customers to sustain yourself. Whereas if you charge a bit more money, you need less customers, and it's a little bit easier to get to that point where you can sustain yourself financially. So here is exactly what we're doing right now. 1, we're making content and we're putting it on YouTube. 2, we're sending weekly emails through Creator Weekly. And we're about to launch some paid ads to run through our Money's Model funnel. So in order to deliver value, we have a soon to launch 100% free online community, which is going to be the Creator's Edge Lite. Now, this is going to be for aspiring content creators, online entrepreneurs, and world travelers. Then we have the Creator's Edge. That's a step up on the value ladder, and that's a low to mid-ticket monthly subscription or annual purchase option for people who are a little bit more committed and want some more help. And lastly, we have the Creators Incubator. This is a medium to high ticket program with one-to-one support simply for people who want their hand held and want to get results as quickly as possible. Now, of course, there's a lot of nuances in all of this that I'm sharing, but I will be breaking this down in future videos. Now, content and an online business of some sort, that's how we create freedom. But what do we do with that freedom? I've come to see that as beings confined in an incarnation, at our deepest level, we all yearn to be free. And travel is the embodiment of the freedom that we crave. To witness the world in all its variation and taste the world in all its flavors. After spending the last couple of years traveling the world, I've come to see this. Travel breeds creativity, but routine breeds productivity. I'm not a digital nomad, I'm a digital slow-mad. I pick a base and I build a routine. And it's this routine which allows me to continue to make content and work and grow my online business. And this then funds my travels. So from my base here in Bangkok, every 4 to 6 weeks, I'll go on a trip. So I might go to Koh Chang because I love that island, or I might go to Ho Chi Minh because it's an awesome city. I might head over to Da Nang, or maybe even over to the Philippines. But when it all comes down to it, creating a life you love, it doesn't come down to traveling. It comes down to having the freedom to choose to travel. And for me, the freedom of choice is the secret that I've found to really living a life that I love. Now, perhaps right now you're watching this video and you don't feel like you have everything you need to get started. But I'm telling you, you already have enough. And maybe right now you don't feel like you are enough. But I'm here to tell you, you are enough, exactly as you are right now. You don't need anyone to save you. The only person you need is who you are right now.